All right, so if you're learning Portuguese, I bet you've bumped into one of the biggest hurdles for English speakers, these two verb moods, the indicative and the subjunctive. They can seem super confusing at first, but today we're going to crack that code. Let's dive in.
So, we're going to kick things off with a little mystery. We've got two sentences that look almost the same, but they're hiding a really crucial difference that, believe it or not, unlocks everything.
Okay, take a close look here. We have quero aquele bolo que tem chocolate and quero bolo que tenha chocolate. Now, in English, we'd pretty much translate both of these as I want a cake that has chocolate. But in Portuguese, that one little verb change from tem to tenha, well, it changes the entire meaning.
So what gives? Why the different verbs if the translation seems the same? This is the central puzzle for anyone trying to get fluent in Portuguese. And you know what? The answer is way simpler than you think.
The whole thing boils down to a single, really powerful concept. I like to call it the certainty principle. And trust me, it is the master key to understanding when to use each of these moods.
And here it is. It all comes down to this one question. Are you talking about a known fact? A specific, concrete reality? If you are, that's the indicative. Or are you talking about something that's uncertain, a wish, a doubt, an indefinite idea? Well, that's the subjunctive. The most important thing to get is this. It's not about what you're saying, but how certain you are about it.
Okay, let's start with the easy one, the indicative. Just think of this as the mood for the real, concrete world, the world of stuff that actually is, the world of facts.
Okay, now this is awesome because it totally solves our cake mystery. Quiero aquele bolo que tem chocolate means I want that specific cake. You can see it, you can point to it, it exists. It's a known fact in your reality. But quiero bolo que tenha chocolate means I want a cake. Any cake at all as long as it has chocolate. It's just an idea, a desire, not a real specific cake you're looking at. And that uncertainty is what triggers the subjunctive tenha. See?
This is another perfect example of how just one little word can flip the switch. Acho que, I think, you're stating your belief as a fact, right? So you use the indicative, vai chover. But the second you add no, you inject doubt into the equation. I don't think. Now it's uncertain, and because it's uncertain, you have to use the subjunctive, vai chover.
And look at that. We see the exact same pattern here. If you affirm something é verdade que, you're dealing with facts. So you use the indicative, estuda. But the moment you deny it, no é verdade que, you've pushed it into the world of uncertainty, which demands a subjunctive, estuda. It's a really consistent rule.
Let's do one more just to really hammer this home. This is basically our cake example all over again, just with a restaurant. Are we going to that specific restaurant that we both know? The one on the corner? That's a fact. A concrete plan, so we use the indicative, fica. Or are we just looking for a restaurant, any restaurant, that fits a certain description? Well, that's just an indefinite idea, isn't it? So we need the subjunctive, fique. So, if the indicative is the world of solid facts, then the subjunctive is, well, it's everything else. It's the world of maybes, wishes, doubts, and dreams. And this is where the language gets really beautiful and expressive. The subjunctive is the mood you use for anything that isn't a concrete, absolute reality. We're talking hopes, possibilities, opinions, desires, all of these non-facts, they live in the world of the subjunctive.
And you know, there are some really common trigger phrases that are basically big flashing signs telling you the subjunctive is coming. If you hear words that are naturally full of doubt or probability or emotion, like the ones on this slide, duvido que, embora, or oxalá, you can bet the verb that follows is going to be in the subjunctive.
Okay, so the theory is great and all, but let's see how this actually works in a real text, where these two moods are mixed together totally naturally, just like in a real conversation.
So, here we've got someone planning a vacation. They're looking for a place, and they say it has to be a place onde haja praia, where there is a beach. So why do they use the subjunctive haja instead of the indicative a?
It's our certainty principle in action again. They haven't picked the place yet. It doesn't exist as a known fact in their travel plans. It's just an idea of a place, an indefinite location they're searching for. And that indefinite idea requires the subjunctive.
And it just keeps going. They want a place where they can meet people, that's possamos, who are on vacation, that's estejam, and who want to make new friends, querem. Did you notice that? All three of those verbs are in the subjunctive.
And why? Because these people aren't real known individuals. They're part of the vacation fantasy, the hope for the trip. They're describing an ideal type of person they wish they could meet. It's all hypothetical, so it's all subjunctive.
But then, check this out. In the very same paragraph, the speaker says, Ficamos na última semana de julio. We are staying the last week of July. Here, suddenly, the verb is in the indicative.
And the reason is so simple. This part of the plan is certain. The dates are set. It's a concrete, known fact. So the hypothetical search for a perfect place uses the subjunctive, but the confirmed dates use the indicative. They live side by side, and it makes perfect sense. So after all that, what's the big takeaway here? What you've really done today is learn a new linguistic superpower.
Here it is, all laid out. The indicative is for the world of what is, facts, certainties, concrete things. The subjunctive is for the world of what could be, uncertainty, hopes, doubts, and desires. Once you start thinking in terms of this certainty versus uncertainty scale, the choice becomes so much clearer. Think about a sentence like this. Hopefully she can pass the exam. Her passing is not a fact yet. It's a hope. It's a desire for the future. That feeling, that uncertainty, is precisely what the subjunctive is built for. It gives a voice to all our hopes.
So, in the end, the subjunctive isn't just some tedious grammar rule you have to memorize. It's a powerful tool. It's language of emotion, of possibility. It's how you express the entire world of human hope, doubt, and desire. So the real question isn't just when to use it. It's what will you choose to express with it.